Biology Part 162. The monozygotic or identical twins result from a single zygotic which splits after the first cell division to give two separate but genetically identical embryos. Monozygotic twins are always of the same sex and always look alike. During the maturation of a follicle, the primary oocytes enlarges to about 100 times of its original size. It receives nutrients from the cluster of glandular secretory cells which proliferate around it. These are separated from the primary oocyte by a thick jelly-like layer, the zona plasuda, as we can see in the figure as well. But they make contact with the primary oocyte through numerous cytoplasmic extensions which penetrate this layer. The granular cell resemble Sertoli cells in their function, and they are able to regulate the transfer of substances into the primary oocyte from the blood vessels and the secretory cells. As the cluster of granular cells expands, a new layer of cells called the theca forms around the outside of the follicle. The cells of theca develop from the ovarian connective tissues. Oddly enough, they secrete the male sex hormone and the testosterone, which later diffuses in the granular cells surrounding the primary oocyte, where it is converted by the enzyme action into the female sex hormone estrogen. This last stage in the development of the follicle is the expansion of the central fluid-filled space called the antrum, in which the primary oocyte floats suspended by a strand of granular cells. The whole follicle swells like a balloon as a granular cell continue to secrete fluid into the antrum. Just before the ovulation, the balloon can be observed as a bump on the surface of the ovary. About this time, the first meiotic division occurs, whereby the primary oocytes divides to form two cells called secondary oocytes, each with 23 chromosomes. Although the chromosomes are shared equally in this division, the cytoplasm is not. One of the secondary oocytes destined to become an ovum retains almost all the cytoplasm, thus keeping its food supply intact, whilst the other consists of the little more than a nucleus. This is called a polar body and is the first of two polar bodies formed during oogenesis. Because the second division of the meiosis occurs in a similar way, the ovum thus retains its size through the unequal division of cytoplasm. The second division, the final stage of the oogenesis, does not occur until after fertilization. The process of egg cell and sperm formation are both examples of gametogenesis and are compared in the figure. Ovulation. The egg cell at this stage, more accurately termed the secondary oocytes, is released when the outer lining of the ovary splits along the bulge created by the mature follicle. At the moment of ovulation, antral fluid flows out of the ruptured ovary into the abdominal cavity, carrying with it the egg cell, its surrounding jelly, the zona pellucidal, and a few granular cells still attached